Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissach. Thank you for joining us. We are always glad to get updates, especially from local law enforcement, sharing with us what's happening and what's going on, especially things we need to be aware of. We welcome back into the program Captain Brennan Matherne, the Public Information Officer over at Lafourche Parish. Welcome back to the program, Brennan.
Great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. You know, it's just one of those times where I think most of us feel a little sad when we see that people at their most vulnerable time, we see people trying to take advantage of that. Tell us about something we need to be aware of with one of these scams happening.
Well, you know, scams have not, while they've evolved as far as the type of scams, they might approach you as, about your car warranty or about the sheriff's office, and you have a warrant for your arrest, or maybe your electricity bill is past due and they're asking you to make a payment immediately. The signs of a scam really have not changed. And so if you familiarize yourself with all of the different signs of a surefire scam, it really doesn't matter what form it takes. You'll be prepared to not be a victim of it. Lately, we've been seeing a lot of scams. Obviously, a lot of people around here have been getting a lot of money from insurance. You have elderly people, obviously, that have life savings and plenty of investments. So you have what we would call a target-rich environment for scam artists. And they're, pulling every trick in the book, basically, whether it's phone calls, emails, and, there's something that we could talk about called the short game and the long game. When someone calls you and just tries to get you to send money over the phone very quickly, that's the short game. They're trying to get money real fast and maybe not contact you again, or maybe contact you again if you do give money. But we've even seen the long game recently where people get an email and it's a casual back and forth conversation about potentially a business proposal. And at the end of it, it's one of the surefire signs of a scam where they want to pay you a certain amount of money, but they want you to send a refund check back, or they want you to pay to get a reward or pay to get money, which in any of those situations is never going to be a legitimate thing. Ultimately, one of the biggest things we're telling people right now, especially for elderly, is to check with your son or your daughter, check with an adult child that might be able to help you and determine whether this is a scam or not, or just call us at the sheriff's office and we'll be able to help you. We'll take a look at what you've got. Keith, the biggest thing is if you think something could possibly be legitimate, look, just hang up and call the number of that company that you know and just ask them, look, am I past due on my account? Is there anything you need to know? Otherwise, you're more than likely falling victim to a scam.
Yeah, and one of those things, if they want to get more information, y'all have a wonderful update and some for the signs on that at lpso.net/scams rather. That people can kind of look that up, right, or report that.
Absolutely. If you go to that section on our website, lpso.net/scams, you'll see all of the surefire signs of a scam, and it'll tell you how to avoid it. One of the biggest things that's on there that I wanted to highlight on this segment is anytime that you're wiring money electronically, in other words, you're taking cash and having a legitimate transaction to someone that proves to be a swindler or some type of scam artist, that's a lot harder to recover. So what we're telling people is if you are going to make purchases online or do any kind of business, we encourage you electronically, we encourage you to use a credit card. Ultimately, credit cards have a lot more fail-safes in place with the bank that you have the card with, as well as from an investigation standpoint. But once you make a electronic wire transfer and you're sending cash to someone, it's a lot harder to recover, especially if that someone is overseas.
Right. Very good. Now, we've also got some other issues with some burglaries that we need to be aware of and some people trying to break into vehicles.
Yeah, so on December 31st, on New Year's Eve and on New Year's Day, actually, we responded to several vehicle burglaries reported on Camellia Drive and St. Bernard Street in Thibodaux. We found, through investigation, we found images of two suspects that we are searching for, and we're asking the public to help us try to identify these two individuals. Now, Thibodaux Police Department is also investigating some vehicle thefts involving these exact two same people. So it's imperative that we get these suspects identified so that we can question them about these incidents. But if you do have any information that you can lend to us on these cases, or if you can identify the suspects directly, you can submit a tip anonymously through Crime Stoppers by your region at 1-800-743-7433. You can also go online at crimestoppersbr.org. And my favorite is the Bayou Tips app. It's a special app just for Crime Stoppers by your region. Just search for the Bayou Tips app on an Android phone or an iOS device, and you can download it and submit the information that way.
And then people may be eligible for a $1,000 reward if, in fact, that information leads to an arrest. So again, that information, we appreciate Brennan for sharing. 1-800-743-7433, online at www.crimestoppersbr.org, or Brennan's favorite, the P3 Tips app. And so again, that's Crime Stoppers Bayou region. And so it's just one of those things where I'm so very glad that y'all communicate as efficiently and as effectively as you do. Again, working with Brian Zarang, Chief of Police over in Thibodaux, trying to find and apprehend those potential burglary suspects.
Yeah, we have an awesome system in Lafourche Parish where all of our law enforcement agencies not only cooperate and talk to each other, but we're all on the same information network. So we share information. So if officers pull someone over in Thibodaux, we know details of that traffic stop in Lafourche, and it helps us in our investigations.
Well, we appreciate it as always. We wish you a very happy new year, and thank you for keeping everybody safe over in Lafourche.
Thanks again. Thanks for having us, and we wish everybody a happy new year.
Very good. Again, we thank you very much for joining us, and that will do it for this edition of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming when we continue.